people feel empowered wherever he went. Comrades described him as someone with a powerful capacity to change conversations from the dreamy abstract into concrete solutions. Aaron had a clarity of vision, and he wanted us to see what he did. What Aaron saw was the genocide of the Palestinian people of Gaza. What he saw was the absolute and total horror, a repository of limbs and burned faces and rubbled homes and broken families. What he saw was a U.S. Air Force that was sending its tacticians and intelligence to support the Zionists in the killing fields. Aaron also saw his uniform and its implications. A uniform that kills everything and everyone. The U.S. government and its armed forces have laid waste to entire countries and destroyed families with impunity. Only the resistance of the oppressed has kept them in check. This building right here behind us is where this machinery springs into action. This is the site of the production line that plucks high school-aged youth and integrates them into a system of death and dismemberment. Entry points like these are all over the city. They strangle it. And every day they siphon and fashion new soldiers and new cops to keep the rest of us in line. This is likely the first time in American history that an active duty member of the American Armed Services has immolated in protest. Aaron did not take his own life. He gave it to a cause. Unsurprisingly, the gift of this sacrifice is being described by Zionists as an act of a mentally ill person. They suggest this in order to diminish it and to diminish him. They do so to remove his agency, to denature the force of his choice by collapsing it into the logic of suicidality. We reject this. All forms of protest are symptoms of an uninhabitable world. There is no way to respond sanely to what is happening in Gaza. Gaza is a normalcy that is not normal, and we are here to fight against that. Of course, Palestinians and Muslims understand this infinitely. They pathologize our fight for liberation. We are terrorists, we are angry Arabs, we are delusional, but we are not alone in this. In the 1960s, in the wake of mass-scale black revolution, suddenly we saw schizophrenia appended to blackness. They called it protest psychosis. This is a long-standing tactic of discreditation. They want all of us to be seen as out of touch with the real. But we know that to be in touch with the real would mean being bludgeoned every day by the fundamental sickness of this world. Experiencing this, you might join the movement, you might be organizing, you might be fighting. Aaron's problem was that he was never out of touch with the real. It was the excesses of reality that consumed him. It has been mentioned that Aaron is part of a tradition of self-immolation, something he no doubt knew. More than a dozen people enacted this form of protest during the Vietnam War. Roger Allen Laporte was 22 years old when he lit himself on fire in front of the United Nations here in New York City. He was a Catholic seminarian. Ronald Brazzi was 16 years old. Alice Hurst was 82 years old. She was a Quaker Unitarian peace activist who lit herself on fire in a street corner in Detroit. And of course there was Norman Morrison, who galvanized hundreds to burn their draft cards after he too self-immolated in Washington, D.C. So we end with an observation. Aaron is now the second person to self-immolate in protest of the U.S.-backed genocide in Gaza. Before him, a woman in Atlanta. What many in the West cannot yet fathom is this concept of martyrdom, that these two people enacted self-sacrifice for a cause greater than themselves is something that is alien to the logic of U.S. empire. To display such clarity and bravery, we will remember them with all the other martyrs of Gaza. Thank you.
All our children, sons and daughters. All our children, sons and daughters. Glory, glory to our martyrs. Glory, glory to our martyrs. To our sons and to our daughters. To our sons and to our daughters. Glory, glory to our martyrs. Glory, glory to our martyrs. To our children, mother, fathers. To our children, mother, fathers. In our thousands, in our millions. In our thousands, in our millions. We are all Palestinians. We are all Palestinians. In our millions, in our billions. In our millions, in our billions. We are all Palestinians. We are all Palestinians. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. 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 No peace on stolen land. Justice is our demand. Justice is our demand. No peace on stolen land. No peace on stolen land. In our thousands, in our millions. In our thousands, in our millions. We are all Palestinians. We are all Palestinians. In our millions, in our billions. In our millions, in our billions. We are all Palestinians. We are all Palestinians. Free, free Palestine. Free.
Genocide has a direct impact on our local communities. There are over 50,000 Palestinians in our communities right here in New York City. Every year, almost $120 million of New York City residents' federal tax dollars go to the U.S. government's military funding of Israel. City council members visited Israel, and just last week, over a half dozen did the same. Yet those same council members stay silent now, while the Israeli military, backed by the U.S., continues to perpetuate a
called for a permanent and immediate ceasefire, almost immediately to when this started.
Not feeling safe here, in the city that has the largest Jewish population in the world, simply for being part of a group that has been screaming since October 8th that this needs to end. I can only imagine what our Palestinian siblings and Muslim siblings are feeling with what the city has done and not done. A few months ago by now, a group of us, Rabbis for Ceasefire, went to the UN. A lot of you might have witnessed that part, because we got detained and it was very interesting. But the part that some people missed was that a few days later, some of us met with the UN Secretary General. New York City is home to the United Nations. We are home to one of the most diverse communities in the world. I am here as a New Yorker, as the child of refugees, to beg my city council, not the ones that are here, all of you are doing amazing and I'm so proud of you, but everyone else, to end this. I'm going to wrap up, but I want to say one final thing. Our lead organizer for Rabbis of Ceasefire says that we always need to use some Hebrew words. So I want to say one final thing. We're coming up in a few weeks on the holiday of Purim. If you don't know anything, look up the book of Esther. We'll give you some details. But one of the lines there that I really like is 𝓽 𝓻𝓸 𝓵 והצלה ימות ליהודים ממקום אחר. If you're going to be quiet in the face of tyranny, I want you to know that the people who are being persecuted at the end of the day are going to survive. We're going to have a lot of loss, but they're going to be okay. But you, all of those in that building who couldn't be bothered to be here or couldn't be bothered to stop the millions of dollars that we're sending to Israel, I don't know if you were going to survive, because New York City as a country, sorry. Not a bad thing. Yeah, New York City as a city is going to keep fighting for peace. We're going to keep fighting as Jews, as New Yorkers, for our Palestinian siblings. So we're not going to stop. We're not going to be quiet. So you either speak up, join us, or go away.
Come together for this action in so many different roles, from within our lifetime to UAW to Extinction Rebellion. I'm here with the Malani Defense Society. There are dozens of other groups that have come together to make this happen. Abolitionists, tenants unions, environmental groups, so many more that are all here to say stop Cop City and free Palestine. Palestinian organizers have been out here not just for months, but for years and for decades doing this, and we are here with them because we know that we do not have any other choice. We come out here every day and every week, and we will keep doing so. And we do that because we know that none of us are free until all of us are free. We also know that all of our struggles are interconnected. We say this at every single event, and we say this right here now today, partially because our comrades in Atlanta and in Arizona have been fighting this fight against Cop City. Now, for those of you who don't know, Cop City is a $100 million militarized police training facility that they are in the progress of building in Atlanta. It is also a project that is raising the largest urban forest in the country,